as you've gotten older, what have you done to help separate who you truly are from the person people have expected you to be?
I have to go back to my culture and where I'm from. Being
Mm-hmm.
a woman born in Africa, grew up in Europe, you have like a duality of culture. A woman in Africa and a woman in Europe aren't the same, don't have the same culture. Culture weighs a lot. It's difficult to understand what's really you and what's the culture or society expects you to be as a woman, and family as well. I know, again, I will come back to that aha moment for me of revelation. For very long, my identity was I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm everything else, but I am not. Like I am does not exist. I couldn't talk as for myself. All those hats were me, but I was lost. So when you get to a certain age, you see that with a lot of women, with the empty nest, the kids are gone, and you don't know what to do with yourself anymore, because your time was so about the children, the husband, everyone else but you. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know your color. You don't know what you love. You don't know even what food you like, because you will eat what everyone else eat because everybody is first. The older you get, the more you come to truly separate this,
Mm-hmm.
because when you are a young couple or young, you're busy looking after your kid, or if you don't have kid, you are in your career, you're trying to do all these things to be a good employee, like Vicky, you talking a lot about, Kim, you about being like a wife, a good mom, and all of these things, but there's no you in there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get older, the noise goes down a little bit. I think you're more assertive also about who you are. And you get so much more time on your hand when the kids are not anymore small, to like look at yourself, face yourself more often, and like who I am. It came with me when I travel solo. That's a great way to discover yourself and go towards you. Because when you travel solo, there's nobody there for you. There's no noise around you but you. You have to face yourself, and like I discover what I like as a traveler, being with the locals. Not maybe not going all the time to the museum, to the art site. You know what I do with my husband and my kids, right? I discover who I was as a traveler, as a woman, as what my favorite color, what the food that I like, when I was by myself. And I started paying attention to what felt right for me. What were the situations where I felt that I have to perform, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when I felt free to just be me, the real me, it's me just today. Feel lighter, I feel free to wear my hair as I want, to put things on my hair if I want to wear this instead of forcing myself wearing like gold thing that were gonna burn my skin because of a keloid skin, to wear earrings because I think that a woman should be wearing earrings, or wearing shoes that hurt my feet even if they're smaller. Today only wear trainers. Letting go of all these expectations, and it frees you completely.
I was expected to be the girl in the church, obeys all orders, every single rule that you're supposed to obey, whatever, whatever, until the day that my cousin died at 38. She lived her life for the church. She lived her life for everybody else except her, and she was lost to everything else except her. At her funeral, I made that decision that I'm done living my life to please my husband at the time. I'm done living my life to please the church. I'm done living my life to please people. I am going to be Kimberly, like it or lump it. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided I was going to come out of my religious box. Around that same time too is when I started to exercise, and my ex-husband wanted to ask me, I think he asked me one time, like, you think I want you to exercise? And I had to tell him, everything I do doesn't have to revolve around you. Because people feel it because we name women that we're supposed to be whatever they want. I'm so sad my cousin died, but for me it was a blessing because she opened my eyes to show me that choosing me is more important than living my life to please everybody else and killing my soul inside. Because we put ourselves on the back burner a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and We deserve so much more.
For me, it was like what Jazz was saying, just, as I get older and learning that I don't need to shrink for other people. That,
Yeah.
growing up, youngest of 6 kids, having sick parents, always trying to keep the peace. And it just followed me, into my career. It followed me into my marriage. And then just one day I had this epiphany, why am I shrinking for everybody? Why am I trying to keep the peace? Because none of my needs are getting met. And, I had to have that come to Jesus discussion with everybody, work, home, family, siblings, mom, everybody, and just start putting myself out there and saying, I can't keep the peace anymore. Because
Yeah.
in keeping the peace for everybody else is happy. I'm freaking miserable. You know how when you're good at something, everybody thinks you're supposed to be that? That's how I ended up being in accounting. I didn't like it. I was just good at math. I was good at math because I tried to keep the peace and I tried to get good grades and do good at school so I wouldn't upset my sick parents. And so all these things just kept following me. And my life just wasn't my life. I think it was like Jazz said, you start to get into those late 30s, early 40s, and you start to realize this life I've built and designed, who the heck's life is this? Because it ain't nothing I ever wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
Everything that we did was like it seemed like it was just designed because, yeah, you're supposed to have the big house. Why do we need a big house? We don't even have any kids. Why do we need a big house? It's just the two of us. My dog had his pick a room. So yeah, I was just really looking inside and saying, I don't want this big house. I want to be closer to my mom. I don't like this job, but it pays well and I don't want to start over. So if I can just live with the crap and retire at 58 and a half, then I'll be okay. And 58 and a half is it's not retirement age, but Michael was going to be retirement age that same year at 59 and a half. So I'm like, I'm not going to work if he's not going to work. So we're going to retire at the same year. But just at that point going, none of this is what I wanted. None of this even feels like me. And it's just time to figure out what that is. There's a saying that when you cut a tree from its roots, it dies. And that's exactly what happened to me. I never got a chance to plant my roots. And I just felt like I was living in a dead tree.
Oh, wow. Ladies, we're getting quite deep here. It's important to share this,
It
I
is.
think, it's part of healing.
Yes.
Not only that, I feel like if this is more of a conversation with us and like a forgetting of, we're actually recording a video here.
No, because we're getting real, we're talking about lived experience. It's not stories, it's our experiences. And I think it can talk to a lot of women, a lot of people in general.
Yeah, they say if you can see her, you can be her. But the other thing is if you hear other people went through what you're going through, you don't feel so alone. You don't feel so ashamed or stupid, in your decisions because you see, wow, I wasn't the only one.